What's up everybody, Sunkist here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over an Elder's Mark build that I've been using to farm infestations lately. This build does a pretty good job at melting those infestation bosses, balancing carry weight, and some other considerations, so hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Before I do get into the video, quick reminder to collect your free power armor skin that's in the Atomic Shop currently. It's called the Protect skin. It's this red T60 skin, but it does work on pretty much every power armor type, even though it just says T60 across the chest plate here. Again, reminder, this is free. It's in the Atomic Shop right now, and it was a reward for the community completing 500,000 infestations. And make sure you claim it before June 23rd. I'd like to know down in the comments how you're liking Infestations so far. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And if you're on mobile, hype the video. Catch you at the end. So let's go ahead and pick our fight here. Okay, he's resilient. Go ahead and take him down then. But yeah, health bar got melted pretty quickly. Taking a look at our weapon here today, we have the Elder's Mark. And I personally like to run quad, rapid, VATS optimized, and pinpointers on it. Other good rolls are Furious, Rapid, VATS optimized, and conductors, pinpointers. You could run Bloodied, Crit, Explosive. Doesn't matter too much. I do think this is probably the best configuration though, so you can take advantage of Bulletstorm, and also you just don't have to reload as often, which I think long-term DPS seems like it's kind of more convenient. I do like the hardened receiver on this over the prime receiver, and that's mostly just because the fire rate is a little bit faster. I do believe technically the DPS is a little bit higher on the hardened version, but you just pay the price of not having as much range, and you have to spend more ammo since the per shot damage is a little bit lower, but it does have a significantly improved rate of fire versus the prime receiver. I'm rocking the short light barrel, recoil compensating stock, large quick eject drum, because I do like those fast reloads. You could run the large drum and get up to 250 rounds, but I think the 25 round sacrifice is worth the fast reload. The reload can be quite slow on that large drum. Got the glow sights on there for AP reduction and suppressor, so we can sneak occasionally. Definitely taking the suppressor off does make a pretty big difference in terms of improving the range, but the Elder's Mark is just so satisfying with the suppressor, I almost feel like you need to leave it on. If you're unfamiliar or new to the game, the Elder's Mark is a named legendary submachine gun that you can get from completing the Priest of Burden public event. Just to make sure you're attending those when they pop up in your server, and there's a small chance that one could drop. There's also a chance you might be able to find one of these in someone's vendor, although they are going for pretty high prices nowadays since this is more or less the meta Commando weapon. But maybe you'll get lucky and find one that is priced pretty well. Maybe you have a friend that has an extra one, or you can even make it looking for group post and maybe someone will be nice enough to gift you one. For armor, I'm actually running Union Power armor today. When you're farming infestations and just kind of farming other stuff while you're in between infestations, you do pick up quite a bit of stuff. So that extra carry weight from the Union Power armor is really nice. So I'm going with that. I got plenty of fusion cores. AP regen is good enough, so don't really need Vulcan armor for this build. I'm personally running Overeaters because I do run this kind of like hybrid bloodied. I don't go fully bloodied down to like 20% or lower. I kind of stay around 39 to 40% ish. Get close to plus 30% damage still, and you won't die as easily because some of those infestation bosses do hit pretty hard. So it's nice not insta dying all the time trying to play as a bloody character. So that's why I'm running Overeaters. Plus 2 agility is going to give us plus 10 as a total on our set, so that it'll help us out with our AP cost, or not AP cost, our total AP. Through hikers, I've run this on pretty much every armor piece just because it frees up 4 perk points via not having to run through hikers the perk card and not having to run traveling pharmacy. So I like running this. And limit breaking, as long as we have luck of 16 or higher, which this build does, we are able to crit every other shot. And that's one of the best ways to do max DPS. I am rocking the Brotherhood Protector paint. That is the new free paint that we just got for completing the community challenge to complete 500,000 infestations. So if you haven't already pick that up from the item shop. It is currently free, so make sure you claim that while you still can. I do think it looks pretty cool, and I think it pairs really nicely with the wing jetpack. I think it just kind of looks pretty good together, to be honest. Now, if you're new to Fallout 76 and you're wondering how to get Union Power Armor, you have to complete expeditions and get stamps. And you go over to White Springs Refuge. And in White Springs Refuge, there is a vendor called Giuseppe. He'll be selling Union Power Armor plans for stamps. Also, if you've gotten to rank 150 on the season pass, you can start spending your tickets to repeatedly get stamps. So feel free to do that if you'd like as well. Taking a quick look at our special point allocation, we have 10 strength, 10 perception, 4 endurance, 3 charisma, 10 intelligence, 10 agility, 9 luck. Jumping into our legendary perks, we have 5 special cards and taking one for the team. Over in strength, we have a few cards to spec into Bulletstorm, as well as Scatter Shot and Easy Target, so we do extra damage against crippled enemies. In perception, we have a few damage boosting cards here, like Number Cruncher, Downranger, Concentrated Fire, and Tormentor. Tormentor will give us extra damage for crippled enemies. That pairs really nicely with Scatter Shot. Awareness is really nice for this weapon since the range isn't super long, so having the extra VATS accuracy is nice. Over in Endurance, we have a couple tanky related cards within Life Giver, Ironclad, Thirst Quencher, Vaccinated, Hardy, and Starched Jeans. Thirst Quencher is going to give us extra AP, and Vaccinated is going to help us keeping the benefits of Thirst Quencher so we're not diseased. Stranger Numbers to buff mutations. Squad Maneuvers to run faster. This is actually really nice to close that gap since the Elder's Mark is a little bit of a shorter range weapon, so it's nice to kind of just run around. Nerd Rage, since we are kind of running partially bloodied, as I mentioned, I kind of sit around 39 to 40% health, and we're getting anywhere between 27 to 30% extra damage, so it's still worth it in my opinion. Power User to double the duration of our fusion cores. Batteries included. Curator so that our magazines and bobbleheads last longer, and good with salt to keep our food good. Modern Renegade and Enforcer for extra limb damage, Adrenaline for extra damage there, Gun Fu for target switching, and then a few of the Gunslinger Onslaught / Gunslinger cards. Over in Luck, pretty standard for Vast Critical build, so we got better criticals, Serendipity, Ricochet, Luck of the Draw, 4-Leaf Clover, Class Freak, Critical Savvy, Junk Shield. Some of these perks in here are for when I'm outside of Power Armor, so Serendipity being one of them, and Junk Shield also being another one of them. Most important ones, honestly, is having Critical Savvy and better criticals. Also, I do think having 4-Leaf Clover is very important on this build, since the range isn't very high, so you're going to be missing a decent amount of shots at range, but if you're shooting a fast rate of fire weapon like the Elder's Mark, and you have 4-Leaf Clover equipped, all those misses will contribute to your crit fill. Critical hits are guaranteed hits, so you're going to be hitting a lot more shots at far range with a low % hit chance than you actually would think you would with this perk. All right, taking a full look at our buffs and mutations. I do run Ballistic Bach. I do run a Small Gun Bobblehead, Guns with Bullets 3 for extra ballistic crit damage, Psycho buff, Black-Eyed Susan Soothin', Company Tea, Blight Soup, Pumpkin Pie, Pumpkin Soup, Silt Bean Soup. What else we got here? Swamp Tofu Soup. And these are all just herbivore buffs. So if you're not an herbivore, there's definitely some carry weight and AP increasing things that you can run, but that's what I run. Blight Soup being the most important since that will buff our crit damage. For mutations, we have Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Healing Factor, Herbivore, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, and Speed Demon. Alright, looks like we found ourselves an Infestation boss, so let's get in here and see how we do. I imagine we're going to melt pretty good here. Yeah. The henchmen are definitely not going to stand really any sort of chance at all here. Yeah. Kind of figured that'd be the case here. Shot him through the wall. Let's get a couple of stacks of adrenaline before we take on the boss, if you will. I know some people may prefer the extra per shot damage of the prime receiver, but there's something really satisfying about that insanely fast rate of fire with the just the hardened receiver. So let's go ahead and pick our fight here. Okay, he's resilient. Go ahead and take him down then. But yeah, health bar got melted pretty quickly. Just to illustrate really how helpful Gun Fu is, we're gonna go ahead and just take out a bunch of these scorched here. Ran out of AP there, actually. Okay, that's not registering damage. You can't hide from me. Come back here. But yeah, Gun Fu with this weapon and a 225, 250 round mag, definitely a good combination. All right, there we go. Level 100. Taking damage properly. Yeah. Melted right through it. Not a problem. All right, let's see how we do against a Scorched Beast. Don't imagine we're going to have too much trouble, but we'll just take a quick check here. Stop flying away from me. Guess we can build up a little bit of adrenaline on the Scorched here. Alright, let's see how we do. Yeah, basically hot knife through butter there. Just a test on some new infestation enemies. We just found another one. I'm guessing it's going to be... Okay, so it's a mole miner at a super mutant location. A little surprising there. Melting through the henchmen just as easily as before. Make sure I take my psycho buff and my ballistic bach. Take care of a few more of these henchmen here. Alright, now for the infestation boss. Oh, it's reflective, so I gotta be a little careful here. As soon as it drops down, though, let's shoot it here. This one's a little bit tankier. Got the job done, though. Relatively quick still. Thanks for making it to this point of the video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to stick around for future content. If you'd like to check out my last video, that'll be on screen now. Again, I appreciate you watching, and hopefully you'll see you in the next video. See ya.